Logistics does it all. Centrally located, Piper Logistics has 2 warehouses in Indianapolis and a warehouse in Cincinnati, Ohio. Piper Logistics houses over 1 million square feet. Along with our transportation department, we can provide service to half the United States markets.
Aspen Creek Grill, we are a from-scratch concept with comfort, fresh food. You can expect a world-class experience on a great budget. We've got incredible specials, great service. Today's dish that we're going to highlight is going to be our Aspen Blue Sirloin. It is, again, our premium Black Angus certified beef, and we top that with a blue cheese crust. Again, everything that we do here is made from scratch, and it's no different from our steaks. We hand cut all our steaks in-house. So our team back there is just an incredible team. Everything that they do, they take so much pride in. They put a little bit of themselves into everything that they do over here, especially since it is a made from scratch concept. We want everybody to come, visit us, enjoy some great food with some great service. Bring your friends, bring your family, come have some great food, have a great time with us with some of the best comfort scratch food.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
Bertner Electric Incorporated provides professional commercial electrical contractor services to Indianapolis and surrounding communities. Locally owned and operated for over 30 years, our knowledge and experience make us the perfect choice for all your commercial electrical contractor needs. Contact us today.
Thanks to you. Standing with us. You are truly making a difference in the lives of our neighbors in need.
Can't make it to the game? We've got your back. Just go to www.IndianaSRN.org and tune in to all of the live action, or go to our on-demand service and relive your favorite moments.
Sports fans, welcome back to Game Time, to pure spirits, to pure sport. Welcome back to high school sports.
Fans, I'm IHSA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and I just want to say, welcome back.
This is Game Time. This is Indiana high school sports. This is your IHSAA.
Hey, Indiana, let's clear the air about vaping. glue, rat poison, paint. We all know these products contain poisons like formaldehyde, arsenic, and lead. And these are just a few of the chemicals you'll find in e-cigarette vapor. Let's clear the air, Indiana. Don't puff this stuff. Visit don'tpuffthisstuff.com to join the fight and spread the word.
Calling officials cheaters or corrupt, it's not a game.
Insulting referees, it's not a game.
Threatening officials, it's not a game.
Berating young umpires, learning the ropes, it's not a game.
Violent language in the stands, it's not a game.
Verbal abuse from the sideline, it's not a game.
Screaming at a referee in the parking lot, it's not a game.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Holbert Arena on the campus of the Rose-Hulman Institute of Technology. It's the Midwest Classic consolation game to be followed by the Midwest Classic Championship game here on RHIT.TV. I'm Galen Clavio, along with Mike Petrie. We'll be calling both contests for you today. We're looking forward to bringing you some excellent basketball this afternoon. Before we get started, we'd like to recognize our game day sponsors, Morales Group Staffing, building better futures, one story at a time. Aspen Creek Grill, why go anywhere else for delicious food? Bertner Electric, providing quality electrical services in central Indiana. Boilermaker 374, second to none in quality and performance. Clean Slate, inspired innovation that moves businesses forward. And Piper Logistics, from warehousing to transportation and everything in between. Well, Mike, we come into today's first contest with two teams in search of their second win of the season, both of them losers yesterday in the first round of this Midwest Classic. A couple of interesting games for both of these teams. It is the Rose-Hulman Fighting Engineers and the DePauw Tigers, rivals right down the road from one another. Let's start with the hosts, the Rose-Hulman Fighting Engineers. They played a game yesterday that had some good moments, had some things that you could certainly build off of and feel happy about, but just a tremendous amount of mistakes committed by this team. The overarching figure, 29 total turnovers throughout the course of a 40-minute basketball game. That's rarely going to get it done in any level of basketball.
Absolutely, and I think what we're going to see, and both teams probably look back at the game yesterday, and I'll be honest, this is not one where you necessarily feel like you let a game get away. It was a game that they were in, that they were fighting to stay in because they played hard defensively. I think what both teams are going to need to do is find ways where their offense can make life easier on the defense. And the number one way that Rose-Hulman can do that is to stop turning the ball over nearly as much as they are. 29 turnovers, in a game where, as I'm just looking, that's anything over 25% of your possessions. That's way too high. So that's going to be the trick to it. A lot of what leads to that, and it is what plagued DePauw as well, is three-point shooting is not a strength for either of these teams. 0 for 5 from the three-point line for Rose-Hulman yesterday. You just have to get more points from that behind the arc, because if you don't, defenses will play you to drive. That's going to lead to turnovers. It just crowds spaces. You need to spread defenses out as much as you can.
Yeah, the Rose-Hulman Fighting Engineers losing in that first game to Illinois Wesleyan 79-65 yesterday. And as we mentioned, there were some things that you could take away positively. Both teams really struggled to shoot the basketball in the first half. Rose-Hulman 2 for 9 in the first quarter, 4 for 12 in the second quarter. But when you get into the third and fourth quarters, they shot 7 for 13 and then 8 for 13. They were getting the ball inside. They were making good moves. You got some really good play out of specifically C.K. Gallegos Rodriguez down low. Ashley Black played very well. Jamie Baum played pretty well in stretches. And when you look at that and you say, okay, this is something that perhaps we can build off of going into this next game, that's a positive angle. Now, as far as some of the aspects that Rose-Hulman needs to clean up, one of the biggest issues they ran into yesterday in that game was how hard it was to keep Illinois Wesleyan off of the offensive glass. 20 offensive rebounds surrendered. So some of the initial defense was very good from Rose-Hulman, and that's something that I think their coaching staff will want to take forward and really encourage the team on. But when you're giving up that many offensive rebounds, you're allowing the opposition to extend the possession unnecessarily. Yep. You can't keep that defensive intensity up.
No, and that's something to keep an eye on today, because DePauw, even in the loss yesterday, had 19 offensive rebounds, so they were aggressive. Ainsley Boris had 7 offensive rebounds alone, so I think that's something that you're going to have to look for if you are Rose-Hulman. I thought especially the initial defense, very good. They gave up too many second chance opportunities, and then it became a scramble drill. And that was part of the problem, was that the defense was just scrambling too much. Once you got them out of position, because you give up an offensive rebound, maybe it's a turnover that puts them in a bad position. They really struggled with finding the shooters, kind of the second, the third look. That was the difficulty.
As far as the DePauw Tigers were concerned, it was a back-and-forth game for most of that contest as they took on Washington University of St. Louis. They end up losing 72-59, so almost the same margin of loss that Rose-Hulman had in their game against Illinois Wesleyan, but a very different kind of game. DePauw fell behind early, rallied back, got it to within 3 on multiple occasions in that third quarter, but could never get over the hump. A lot of that was due to the post presence that Washington University had. They were really difficult to stop down low, and much of it came down to a lack of outside shooting. 4 for 24 for DePauw in that game from 3, and that's just, again, much like the turnovers for Rose-Hulman, you shoot that poorly from outside, especially against a 2-3 zone. That's not going to get the job done.
Absolutely, and really what you look at with that, one of the strengths that you see with DePauw, they're very good at getting to the free throw line. They're very good at converting when they get there. But, again, without the three-point line, if you are driving that much, trying to get to the rim, what's going to happen? You're going to have some turnovers with that, and it just kind of corresponds. Now, DePauw did a good job keeping turnovers down yesterday, but there was no drive and kick for them. And there was no completion of the drive and kick, I should say. There was a lot of good offense that led to open shots. They just couldn't knock them down. That's something that they're just going to have to find 1 or 2 people that they feel confident can hit that shot and run offense to get that person a shot.
DePauw did do a very good job on the offensive glass despite the size disadvantages that they had in that game. 19 offensive rebounds in the game yesterday against Washington University. Leading scorers for DePauw in that game, Ainsley Boris was clutch all over the floor. Of the 4 three-pointers that DePauw hit, she hit 2 of them. 6 for 10 from the field overall, had 9 total rebounds, and was really all over the place and helping DePauw when they needed it. Riley Mott, one of the guards, 13 points and 5 rebounds. Ava Hassel, 10 points, and really was kind of in the mix throughout. They got into some foul trouble early, and that certainly didn't help them throughout the course of the game. Diana Berger was in and out with foul trouble. Olivia Stolkin was in and out with foul trouble. But when you're looking at this game, I would imagine we think that's the group of players who are the most likely to contribute. But again, it was really a tale of two very different types of games between these two teams. Rose-Hulman had a very set rotation. They didn't bring that many people in. DePauw threw a ton of people out on the floor on a regular basis throughout the course of the game. And as we've witnessed with their statistical output throughout the course of the season, their offensive leaders can change from game to game. So I wouldn't be shocked if they got the bulk of their scoring out of a different group of players than what we saw yesterday.
No, and I think the thing about it, and Chris Huffman can, she knows far more than I know. And there are a lot of reasons why I'm not a coach, but the idea of teaching 11 players in a regular rotation to play zone, to have their responsibilities, that honestly, the idea of it keeps me up at night. So it is curious to me, and I don't know if this is an early season, it gets pared down as they go further, but I think that that'll be something that will be interesting to see with DePauw, because it's just it's a nuance to playing defense in that style. Having the ability to do that to such a large roster, they have 19 players listed on their roster. So, it's just a lot of extra work involved in that.
Both of these teams are pretty young. Obviously, Rose-Hulman having to rebuild the roster after the unfortunate circumstances that happened last year, and DePauw with very little upper-class leadership on this roster. Most of the contributors we've talked about are freshmen and sophomores, a couple of juniors sprinkled in there. So, to some degree, the lack of experience from these two teams blends pretty well, and I think it could be a really entertaining game between two teams still finding themselves, but two teams who have now, over the course of the first 4 or 5 games of the season, started to figure out what they can do well and how they need to play together. I will be very interested to see if DePauw decides to throw a press out on Rose-Hulman. We're going to take a break, and we'll come back with the starting lineups here on RHIT.TV.
We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, IndianaSRN. Hit the bell to get notifications for upcoming games and more. Watch as many games as you want, as many times as you want.
A good engineer, a good mathematician, a good scientist can identify problems.
But in order to be a great scientist or engineer, you've got to have curiosity and you've got to have creativity. And that's what's going to set you apart.
You can't teach curiosity. You just need to encourage your student to be curious. Curious in anything that they do. Curious so that it brings out the innovations, the new ideas.
Since we're doing things so quickly, a lot of times we know that we need help. So our professors all know us by name.
Basically, everybody knows everybody here.
That one-on-one personal connection you're getting with the faculty, you don't get that a lot of places.
We're not just saying, here, go do this hard project. We are right there with them. We work with them.
The faculty are there for you.
Anxious over algebra? Call Ask Rose, the free science and math homework helpline. It's free world-class tutoring. Just call, chat, email, or screen share. Learn more at AskRose.org. Confused by chemistry? Call Ask Rose, the free science and math homework helpline. It's free world-class tutoring. Just call, chat, email, or screen share. Learn more at AskRose.org.
We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN.
Welcome back to Holbert Arena. Galen Clavio, Mike Petrie joining you here for the consolation game of the Midwest Classic. Starting lineups being announced now for both of these squads, and they are the same starting lineups that we saw yesterday. First for Rose-Hulman, number 1, Ashley Black, the senior, at one of the guard positions. Number 3, Sophia Reese, the freshman, at another guard position. And as you see there, number 5, Jamie Baum, the junior, out of Los Altos, California, at a third guard position. CK Gallegos Rodriguez, number 12, going to be starting at one of the forward positions, and at the other forward position, it will be number 23, Manuela Shamba. That's the one change. Yesterday we saw Grace Rowland, the freshman, start, but she had a lot of foul trouble, got a little dinged up, might be feeling some ill effects from that. Starting lineup for the DePauw Tigers, it'll be number 3, Ava Hassel, the junior out of Portsmouth, Ohio, at one guard spot. Number 4, Lily Hunsinger at the second guard spot. Number 5, Riley Mott at the third guard spot. And then at the forward positions, it'll be number 22, Diana Berger, and number 35, Lydia Stolken. We're set to go here for this consolation game. And just a reminder, at 4 o'clock or thereabouts, we'll have the championship game featuring Illinois Wesleyan and Washington University of St. Louis. The tip is up, and it's controlled by the DePauw Tigers, and we're underway.
Saw a little bit of a laugh from CK Gallegos Rodriguez because she knew she was not getting that tip.
But she ends up with the defense on the first offensive possession there by DePauw. And now Rose-Hulman trying to get into their offense. A key for Rose-Hulman today, control the bad passes. And an early foul drawn there as Gallegos Rodriguez drives on Berger, and she'll pick up her first foul.
And that's really what it is. From an offensive standpoint, and honestly, I think Coach Devon Paul, the turnovers you feel like are things that you can bring down as the season goes. Again, it's players trying too hard. That is something that you can rein back, and it's some of it is decision-making, trying to make too good of a pass. You've got to know when an easy pass is better than a good pass.
1 of 2 free throws converted, and now a whistle.
Uh-oh. Here we go again with the clocks.
We had a little bit of an issue at the beginning of the game yesterday, the first game, regarding some problems with the clock. I don't know that that was the situation here. The gym got deathly quiet to the point that I'm afraid to say anything because right. I'm resonating throughout the entire arena. But a little bit of a confusion at the press box. I think perhaps the wrong player was assigned that foul initially, and they wanted to get it fixed. So they got it fixed. The foul was indeed on Berger. And now she'll take it in, shot up, and bounces off and goes out of bounds. It'll remain DePauw basketball.
And we'll see if Berger is probably not the person that they want the foul on. She played a big role yesterday. I was surprised, as deep as DePauw was, they still had 2 players with 4 fouls by the end of the game.
Some pretty aggressive defense being played here by Rose-Hulman, and a foul going to be whistled. Looks like they got CK Gallegos Rodriguez. That's her first foul, and both teams now with 1 foul early on. That first game was definitely a bit of a foul fest, although not as much as the second. Ball knocked out of bounds. It'll remain with DePauw. You can see the replay here, and just a nice job on the penetration there by Riley Mont to draw that contact. Out of bounds play, knocked out of bounds. They're going to say that's off of DePauw, and so a turnover. I think that was one of those 50-50 balls, yeah. Mike.
So had a couple of the 50-50 balls go off the hands of Rose-Hulman, so ends up just being a turnover.
So a couple of empty possessions to start for the Tigers, and we'll see what the Fighting Engineers can do on their second offensive possession. Block shot, nicely done there by Stolken, and that'll roll out of bounds. It'll remain with Rose-Hulman.
Great job by Ashley Black staying with that after the blocked shot. Because of that, again, they couldn't get a clean grip on the ball. Ball rolls out of bounds. Rose-Hulman maintains possession.
You can see a nice job by Stolken to get up before that ball was really even released. Now Baum going to dish it off to Shamba, and knocked out of bounds as Gallegos Rodriguez couldn't pull that board in.
I think Rose-Hulman definitely saw on film that DePauw had some vulnerabilities down low.
Another whistle. And another inbound going to happen right in front of the scorer's bench. I'm at a bit of a loss to explain what's going on here, Mike.
I'm not sure.
I think that the
official
clock
on
has
the far side. I think is it the shot clock is not rolling right
either,
away.
It's either the shot clock or the game clock. A couple of times now there's been a delay in one of those, I guess, getting started. So they stop it and correct it, and we're back underway. Here's Mont. Almost loses it, does lose it, and Manuel Ashamba comes away with it. Rose-Hulman quickly down the floor. Thus far, not a zone for DePauw. They're definitely in man. And a steal as Sophia Reese couldn't handle that dribble in, and now the other direction. Here come the Tigers. Shot up, no good by Hunsinger, and the rebound pulled down by Ball.
Nice defense by Ball. Got her in position.
Foul going to be whistled. Going up, and this is going to be on Diana Berger, and that's 2 early fouls on Diana Berger, and she's going to have to take a seat. Ainsley Boris, the leading scorer for DePauw, going to take over, and you can see there, I think Berger would have been fine, except she stepped in on Gallegos Rodriguez as she went by, and that made the call pretty easy for the trailing official. Free throw up and good.
Both of these teams offensively, I think they'll be pretty pleased if it's just a steady
parade to the free throw line.
Yeah, to the free throw line. That suits both of these teams pretty well. So a tight whistle is probably not the worst thing, especially for Rose-Hulman when DePauw is on defense. But Rose-Hulman, then the problem becomes keeping enough players in the game.
Dribbling in, shot up and good. Nice job by Lydia Stolkin, who had a quiet day yesterday but picks up the first 2 of the game for the Tigers. Baum drives, get past Stolkin, and puts up a hopeful shot that's blocked out of bounds, they'll say, so it'll stay with the Fighting Engineers on this end.
Yeah, that was awfully ambitious there, but not the worst thing in the world. Again, you get a bad shot if you're Rose-Hulman, probably feels better than a turnover.
Quick shot off the inbound, missed by Baum, and the rebound pulled down by Stolkin. Alina Prusko in the game now for DePauw, but quickly down the floor come the Tigers. Cross court, Hassel up for 3, and she nails it. Good start for DePauw from deep after the struggles they had yesterday, and they lead by 2.
Desperately needed, and again, you need 1 or 2 players to get hot, and then that can get to be contagious.
Baum going to try a 3 of her own and can't get that to rattle home. Shamba, though, with the rebound, and she puts it back.
Not a bad offensive set from Rose-Hulman. You get a shot up, you'll take it, and one good thing we're seeing, Grace Rowland about to check in for Rose-Hulman, so any injuries not delaying her too much.
Hunsinger moving around the pick. Tries to drop it into Boris. Shot clock winding down. 5 seconds. Hassel drives off glass. Can't get it to go. Rebound up and no there as well. And it'll roll out of bounds and stay with the Tigers.
Shamba did a good job getting position, but it was just unable to go after the ball quite as aggressively as she needed to, and kind of an awkward jump on that last one.
See the replay of that last shot there, and 5:53 remaining in this first quarter of play. 20 seconds on the shot clock here for the Tigers. Riley Mont, who was a key part of the offense yesterday, drives and gets that to sneak over the front of the iron. 2-point lead once again for the Tigers. Pass in, and Rowland almost traveled but managed to keep the dribble. Cross court almost thrown away.
Well, we mentioned a couple of times in DePauw's game against Washington, the game that the opportunities their post player had, Lexi Harris.
Baseline jump shot, good by Grace Rowland. She gets in the scoring ledger, and with 5:08 to go here in the first quarter of play, it's tied up.
I was going to say, see if she posts herself up, but she did one better.
Foul going to be called, and I think they're going to get Sophia Reese on this. They say that she unfairly edged down on Lydia Stolkin in the post, and that'll be an inbounds for the Tigers. And a timeout going to be taken. We'll take one ourselves. Back after this on RHIT.TV.
Every person has a story waiting to be told. Mr. Jack comes in every Monday.
Yeah, that's right.
One day I noticed his hat said he was a Korean War veteran. I asked him if he'd ever been to the Korean War Memorial.
No, I never had a chance to go.
That was the day I knew we had to do whatever it took to get him there.
Mandy made it happen. I got to go to Washington, D.C. to all the memorials. The World War II Memorial, Naval Memorial, Korean War Memorial. Took all kind of pictures and everything, and it was a good trip, too.
I'm glad that I could be a part of Mr. Jack's story.
We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN. We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN.
We're live at Holbert Arena on the campus of the Rose-Hulman Institute of Technology in Terre Haute, Indiana. Galen Clavio and Mike Petrie on RHIT.TV, the home of Fightin' Engineers Athletics. And Rose-Hulman taking on DePauw here in the consolation game in the Midwest Classic, tied up early at 7 apiece. Inbound, and a good job defensively initially by Rose-Hulman. Blocked shot, but dribbling back out of there is Lila Barr, who didn't see much action at all yesterday. Riley Mont to Hassel. Hassel pulls up from 17 and drains it.
Well, that was 4 offensive rebounds allowed in essentially the last 2.5 possessions for Rose-Hulman. That's one of the things they're going to have to clamp down on.
Baum dribbles in and picks up her first points of the game. Back to a tie game. Boris thought about the three, but no. Hassel thought about the three, but drives. Mont, Hassel, baseline, maneuvers up and can't get it to fall, but does pick up the foul.
Really effective drive by Mont there. As got a player on a closeout and then was able to go past her.
Gallegos Rodriguez will sit down, and Ashley Black will come back in to take her place. We also had Tori Scales come in as a substitute for Rose-Hulman, as well as Amelia Diaz. Now, free throw up and good by Ava Hassel. She's leading DePauw's scorers right now with 6. And back to a 2-point margin now for the Tigers. Neither team shooting the ball particularly well, both under 40% thus far early on in this game. Diaz. Cycled around. Here's Reese for 3. No good.
That was a good offensive possession. It doesn't fall, but a good look for Black there.
Foul going to be called on Amelia Diaz, the freshman out of Fort Wayne. Had a tough game yesterday, had some turnover issues and also some foul issues, so they're trying to keep her in the game a bit more and channel that energy a bit better. But she'll come out here pretty quickly. And taking her place in the lineup is Maria Godoy Rodriguez, who I don't believe we saw yesterday. So some new faces for both of these teams based upon probably the 24-hour turnaround that they both had to deal with.
Yeah, I imagine everybody woke up today and was a little sore.
Three-pointer, no. Baum going to let that go out of bounds. So Rose-Hulman certainly in this game early, as is DePauw, and neither team could really say that in the early stages of yesterday's games as they both fell behind by pretty significant margins. These teams still trying to find each other, but both playing very differently, particularly on the defensive end, than what we saw yesterday. As a steal by Hassel.
Hassel's been the star early on.
Nice pass to Mont, up and good.
Wow.
Ava Hassel, when she's on with her passes, is really dangerous out there, and we'll give Riley Mont credit for continuing that run out. 4-point lead for the Tigers. Ashley Black has it knocked out of bounds by Lila Barr. And here's a replay of that steal. You can see Hassel generating that play, keeps her head up, picked up her dribble, which you kind of question why, but it gave her that avenue to pass the ball to Mont, and Mont did a good job of finishing the play off at the bucket. There's Shamba up and good. She gets the leverage there on Ainsley Boris and does a nice job of getting into position to put that off glass.
Fantastic job bending herself around Boris. And Boris, if you're going to make that contact, you've got to make it hard enough not to allow a shot attempt to go up.
Free throw attempt, no. In the corner to Mont, who drives baseline. Nice pass. Quadruple team drops there. Now here's Hassel with the jumper. Good. Ava Hassel starting to really dial it in. She's got 9 of the 15 here for DePauw. Dropped into Shamba, up off glass, can't get that one to go, and fouled. I believe Hassel got her on the shot attempt.
Hassel gave the universal sign of the fact that she had fouled by raising both hands after the contact or after the whistle.
See the replay of this. Shamba unable to get that first one to go, but the foul on the offensive rebound, and you almost have to do that, especially as the way that Rose-Hulman's got their post set up. If you're going to put the shot up, you've got to generate some offensive rebounds on your own, and that's going to be where a lot of your offense is going to come from if you're Rose-Hulman.
Yeah, I mean, I think they've got, especially in Shamba, they've got an active rebounder. Get the shot up before you turn the ball over. And I say that, it sounds kind of glib, but no, that's a legitimate offense for them.
Prusko for 3, out, no good. Rebound is knocked away. It'll stay with DePauw.
We've talked a couple of times about, trying to make that perfect pass, and that's the antidote to it is even if you don't make your first shot, you can continue the offensive possession.
Hassel triggers it in. Prusko trying to work against Godoy Rodriguez. Hassel taking her time. Step back 3, drained it. Now they're going to say it's 2. 2-pointer there, but still Ava Hassel on fire from the field, and it's a 4-point lead for the Tigers.
She was 2 of 10 from behind the arc yesterday, and I think it may have started out 0 for 6, 0 for 7. So she started to finally find the range, and that's going to be a big development for this Tiger team.
Foul going to be called on Riley Mont. Hunsinger going to come back into the contest and going to spell Mont here as we get to the end of the quarter. So to the free throw line, Ashley Black, who was the leading scorer yesterday for Rose-Hulman, hasn't gotten on the board yet, but has a chance to do so here, and she does.
She started out the season cold from the free throw line. She was 3 of 6 coming into yesterday and missed her first 3, but she finally, again, she started to find some of the range on her free throws yesterday.
Second free throw rattles home.
Rose-Hulman hoping, of course, that can continue.
2-point game. Tori Allen handling the basketball now as both Hassel and Mott have gone to the bench. Drive and layup no good, but good rebounding position, up and back in. That's Olivia Hart, another relatively new name. We saw her a little bit in the latter stages of the game yesterday, but she scores. Back to a 4-point margin for the Tigers. Baseline drive, Gallegos Rodriguez has it knocked away, and now Hassel, who I guess is in the game, missed her on the last exchange of substitutes, is able to come out with that. About a 10-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Ball almost thrown away there, but Hassel able to pick it up. Cross quarter and a travel, as that was the right call. Olivia Hart moving before she started dribbling. And now Rose-Hulman's going to have an opportunity to hold on for the last shot of the quarter, down by 4.
Sophia Reese checks in.
And Ava Hassel checks out.
Which you would expect. You want to protect that point guard from foul trouble. And both coaches doing a good job on offense for defense substitutions.
Jamie Baum brings it across the timeline. They'll get into their offense with 7. Step back, jumper, no. Rebound batted around. Shamba finds it and can't get it to fall, and Baum's shot late. And that'll end the first quarter of play. Well, pretty even between these two squads. DePauw leads 19-15. We'll take a break and come back with the second quarter. You're watching the Midwest Classic on RHIT.TV.
Vice President of IndianaSRN. Thanks for joining us. Do you know IndianaSRN broadcasts 350 games a year? All sorts of sports? Yeah, we do. Hard to believe, isn't it? IndianaSRN loves to put student athletes first on our website. If you're a business out there, we probably can help you too. Contact us at coach@indianasrn.org. Grandma from out of state thanks you. Mom and Dad who can't get to the game thanks you as well. In fact, our athletes watch the games over and over again. Our military has enjoyed the games as well. So sit back and enjoy the game. It's IndianaSRN.
Welcome back to Holbert Arena on the campus of the Rose-Hulman Institute of Technology. Galen Clavio, Mike Petrie joining you here for the consolation game of the Midwest Classic. It's a 4-point lead for DePauw as we head into the second quarter. Mike, your thoughts?
Well, it's been a lot of what both offenses would want. I think DePauw getting the three-point shot, that has been huge for them. The free throws have greatly benefited Rose-Hulman, and I think that the more Rose-Hulman can make that happen, the better off they're going to be.
Rose-Hulman shot 42% from the field in that first quarter. DePauw only 30%. Or check that. Let's flip those around. That ball thrown out of bounds. That's something that Rose-Hulman had largely avoided in that first quarter of play, was excessive turnovers. They only had 4 in the whole first quarter. They just picked up their first one not 15 seconds into the second.
Saving grace there, at least it was a ball that went out of bounds, so they were able to go back, get their defense set up.
Boris cross courts to Hunzinger. She'll jump into the lane, and that shot no, but she grabs her own rebound, and it's cycled back around once again. Tori Allen with a reset, or a partially reset shot clock. Now Allen squares up for 3, drained it.
It's a big second chance point for DePauw. And that's the one thing that Rose-Hulman really has to watch out for.
Lead is ballooned to 7 now for the Tigers. Sophia Reese. Gallegos Rodriguez has been really quiet so far in this game. Black up, no. Pulled down by Shamba, who's been all over the boards today, and she's able to get it home.
She does such a fantastic job of just tipping the ball up, and she can jump faster than her opponents on the second and the third jump.
8 points and 5 rebounds already for Manuela Shamba. Three-pointer now from Allen. That one off the mark. Rebound, though, and a foul going to be called. They're going to get Grace Rowland on that one, and not a shooting foul, it looks like. Oh, maybe they are going to call it a shooting foul. All right, you can see the replay there.
She was pretty much up. She did kind of step in with her right foot. Kind of gave that little hip check there.
Free throw is missed by Lydia Stolken. Yeah, officials we've noticed in this Classic so far, they are really focusing on body contact, and that one was consistent with what we've seen already. Second free throw rattles home. 6-point lead for the Tigers. Shamba was fouled. That's going to be on Ainsley Boris.
And that'll be a big foul, but the one thing I'm not crazy about having Shamba is having her with the ball as far away from the basket as she is. I think that if you're going to do that, I would probably leave her in as the one post and see if you can get a couple of other guards around her.
That was the second foul on Boris. Shamba can't handle the inbound pass, and it's going to be picked up by Stolken. And was it a jump ball or a timeout? I guess it was a jump ball, and possession will go to the DePauw Tigers. And now a stoppage. Some conversation at the scorer's table about something. And it looks like whatever it was has been cleared up. So conversations now being had as the coaches are trying to get their teams back into position. Something the officials don't like still. I think they're waiting to reset the shot clock to 30. And we're still waiting for that. Now they're going to put 8:01 on the clock, I guess. So we needed that extra second, I suppose. So we'll keep moving as we're back into action. Tori Allen trapped, able to get it out of there, and 10-second violation. That was a nice job, Rose-Hulman springing a trap. We haven't seen that from them yet.
No, and it really took DePauw by surprise. They did a good job of swinging the ball left and right, but you've got to be able to advance it as well. Teammates have to help. They kind of left the two guards back there going, okay, well, you guys will figure this out.
Another conversation among a couple of the officials as far as now conversation happening with the DePauw head coach. And I think they might be, well, now they're ruling that it wasn't a 10-second violation.
It was definitely 8:01 down to 7:51. By my definition, that means it was 10 seconds, but.
So I guess an inadvertent whistle is being ruled.
An interesting back and forth there.
So DePauw now with the ball. Allen for three, got that one to go. Tori Allen, who did not contribute greatly in the scoring column on Saturday, has got 6 points in this one already for DePauw, and they lead by 9.
And that 9 points, it's three of 6 from behind the arc.
Black in the paint is able to clean that up. Now here's Rowland for three. She can't get it to go. Rose-Hulman 0 for 3 from beyond the arc thus far. Allen has done a nice job of maneuvering the ball in, and now a foul going to be called, and I think they're going to nail that one on Grace Rowland.
That'll be 2 on Rowland.
So post fouls starting to be a problem for both of these teams, as 2 DePauw players have had to sit down. Here we see the replay of that call, and you can see a pretty easy one for the officials as Rowland gambled on the steal and ended up with her arm wrapped up in the DePauw player's arm. That will generally get called.
3 players with 2 fouls for the Fighting Engineers.
Hassel draws a foul, and that one going to be whistled on Jamie Bong. So Ava Hassel back in the contest. She leads all scorers with 11 points. Got 2 rebounds and 2 steals to go along with an assist and a turnover. And she'll step to the free throw line with a couple of shots. DePauw with their first double-digit lead of the game, and as well as Rose-Hulman's played at times, kind of feels like things are starting to slip away from them a little bit. That free throw missed. Offensive rebound, and DePauw will get to reset on offense.
Well, it's been the coldness on offense. They just have not scored in over 2 minutes.
Another whistle and another issue at the scorer's table as something wasn't inputted the way that the officials wanted to see it. So after that whistle, we'll restart play again, and here's Allen. Allen drives nicely and can't get that to roll in. Shamba fighting for the rebound. It'll be a jump ball, and that will send the possession the other direction for Rose-Hulman.
Yeah, now Rose-Hulman, they've just got to find something offensively that they can get behind.
Shot clock again not working, so another whistle. We've had intermittent issues with the clocks for both days of this Midwest Classic.
But only in the Rose-Hulman game.
It is interesting, yes. So the officials back over at the scorer's table talking with the folks there. And they take 3 seconds off the shot clock, and we'll go ahead and get back underway. Clocks now both rolling. Ashley Black. Nobody on this side of the floor. Rose-Hulman looks a little out of sorts offensively. Baum loses that one on the bad pass, and the other way comes Allen. Kicks it off to Hassel. Hassel jump stop now stolen. Here comes Gallegos Rodriguez all the way in for the layup.
And did a good job slowing herself down. She had gained about 3 steps on her defender, and because of that, she was able to slow down and hit the layup.
It's a much-needed basket for Rose-Hulman.
Stops a over 2.5 minutes scoreless streak.
Allen kicks it out to Hunsinger. Shot clock under 10. Here's Hassel for 3. Got it! Ava Hassel has 15 points. That's half of the total for DePauw.
Has been the engine for this team.
11-point deficit, and a timeout going to be called. We'll go ahead and take one ourselves. 30-19 the score. We'll be back right after this on RHIT.TV.
Your hauling or moving project has arrived, and College Hunks Hauling, Junk, and Moving has you covered. Honest. Uniformed. Nice. Knowledgeable. Service. College Hunks Hauling, Junk, and Moving.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the IndianaSRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
We're live from Terre Haute, Indiana, here on RHIT.TV. I'm Galen Clavio along with Mike Petrie. It's good to have you folks joining us for this consolation game in the Midwest Classic. A little statistical reset for you. It's 30-19. DePauw leading Rose-Hulman. DePauw so far 4 for 7 from 3 in this game. That is lights out shooting. Rose-Hulman not shooting the ball very well, only 6 for 18 from the field. They've cleaned up the turnovers to some degree, Mike, but they're just not getting the shots to fall.
No, not getting the shots to fall and not getting the fouls called while shooting. That kind of protected their field goal percentage in the first quarter. has not here in the second quarter as they've gone cold.
That's a big foul there as Ava Hassel picks up her second foul, and she will sit down, I believe. Yes, they'll go ahead and bring Tori Allen back into the contest. So Hassel, the leading scorer with 15 points and 2 for 2 from 3, will take a seat here with 5:16 left in the first half. Baum trying to probe this defense. Amelia Diaz cut off. 7 seconds on the shot clock, and Rose-Hulman with nowhere to go. Here's Baum. She'll dribble it out. Long three. Got it!
Maybe that's been the problem with their three-point shooting. They need to step back about 5 steps.
Got to raise the difficulty level. 30-22. DePauw leads by 8. Tigers, both teams playing some pretty aggressive man-to-man. And a travel going to be called there. That's on Alina Prusko. And a good job with that aggressive man-to-man, as she didn't look completely sure about whether to pass that ball or dribble with it. She ended up doing neither.
And that's been the issues that plague these defenses.
Three-pointer rattles out. Unlucky there from Sophia Reese. That could have cut the lead to 5.
She saw Jamie Baum hit one from way deep, figured, okay, well, that's opened things up for the weekend. Now everybody can hit threes.
Nice drive and a layup by Riley Mont. Mont with 6 points now for DePauw. And there's a travel, a carry actually by Sophia Reese, and that was pretty blatant.
Yeah, and done right in front of the official, which didn't help. She had a nice little stutter step, but as it turned out, too good of a stutter step.
Lila Barr inbounds to Tori Allen. A little pressure coming again here. It worked the first time almost. And a foul going to be called, and this one's going to be whistled on Amelia Diaz. That'll be 2 on her.
Actually, they had her with 2, so I think the problem with Diaz's fouls is not that she's committing them, it's that she's committing them as far away from the basket as she is. There's no advantage gained for it.
So inbound coming in front of the Rose-Hulman bench, and Allen will get it in the back court. Prusko. Riley Mont. Mont into the lane. Spin. Shot up and good. Riley Mont with 8 points.
There's just so many players on this DePauw team that can be effective offensively. I think once you get them kind of all going in harmony, it's going to be a really good offensive team.
Rose-Hulman looking for offense, and they're starting to get at a level of trailing that you can't rely on the free throw line. You see there another nice defensive play as Gallegos Rodriguez loses that one. Here's Riley Mont. Mont will pull up from 18 and drains it. Just a pure stroke from Riley Mont, and she's in double figures.
Watching them today, you don't understand how this is a team that, going into yesterday, shot 20% from the three-point line. I mean, a lot of good, smooth shooters.
Some of that was the defense that Washington University threw at them, which you have to give them credit for. Lydia Stolken commits a foul pretty far from the basket there, and this will be an inbounds.
Yeah, but I mean, they were 20% coming into the game. It actually probably went down as they go 4 of 24 yesterday, but from the three-point line today, they are 4 of 7. So reducing your attempts by 17 and making the same numbers, pretty good.
That math checks out, Mike. Sophia Reese going to trigger the inbound as soon as the scorers table is able to fix something at the...
That wouldn't have been the 5th foul, so it was just the 3rd on the scoreboard.
Correct.
For DePauw.
So perhaps some confusion about whether they were in the bonus. Of course, 5 fouls gets you into the double bonus in the women's game now. Here's Shamba working on the baseline. Nicely defended. Now Baum for three. Gets it to go. Jamie Baum starting to heat up from distance. And that was a much-needed shot for Rose-Hulman.
Well, we talked about it happening with Ava Hassel yesterday. Jamie Baum matching her season total from behind the arc here in the last 3 minutes.
Mont has done a nice job of holding the fort down along with Allen while Hassel's on the bench. That shot is off the mark for Mont, and it's out of bounds. It'll be Rose-Hulman basketball.
Case where probably, and you never want to coach against it, but probably too aggressive coming in on the offensive rebound, because that was not a ball Rose-Hulman was probably going to corral. Would have gone out of bounds off of, perhaps off of Shamba, but instead it goes off of a DePauw player.
Reese will drive, pulls up from 15. That's hard off the back of the iron. Rebound pulled down by Tori Allen, and the Tigers will come the other direction. Drive by Alina Prusko, and gets that one to fall. Back to a 13-point lead now for DePauw.
I think what's frustrating if you're Rose-Hulman is a lot of these the plays work. It looks like you're getting a good shot, and they're just not going down.
Time waning. Jamie Baum, shot no. Rebound by Black, up and good. That's a really nice play by Ashley Black, muscling that one in and denying DePauw's attempts to try to strip it from her.
I have no idea how she found the angle to get that up and off the glass.
Prusko, nice feed, and a foul going to be called here as Lila Barr missed the shot. But Sophia Reese hacked her, and she'll go to the free throw line.
Yeah, and Reese had no choice there, but had to foul.
Godoy Rodriguez going to come back in as they need to try to save Sophia Reese, as she's in some foul trouble at this point. Reese picking up her third, and that's a key player for Rose-Hulman that they can't afford to lose. Lila Barr with a high arcing free throw that drops in. And the second one goes as well. 40-27. Ashley Black. Closely defended by Hunzinger. Now Black going to take it in herself, and she lays it off glass.
Again, another tough angle, and she got that one to fall. So a little bit of one-on-one having to make some plays, but some more plays are available for Rose-Hulman today.
DePauw will likely hold for the last shot here unless a good one presents itself. 12 seconds, and the shot clock and game clock are basically in sync. Here's Allen working against Baum, drives right past, out to Hunsinger for three, way off the mark. Rebound, and going to be knocked away, and that will end the first half of play. Well, it could have been worse for Rose-Hulman. They do a nice job defending on that last possession. They do a nice job of manufacturing some offense on their own last offensive possession. They trail 40-29. Mike, any thoughts?
Well, I think that Rose-Hulman's going to have to get back to doing what they do well, and that is driving and getting to the basket, getting to the foul line if they can.
There'll be a lot more basketball played. We've got the second half of this game. We've got the championship game coming up later. We're going to take a break. We'll come back with halftime analysis, statistics, and the second half of this game. 40-29, DePauw leads Rose-Hulman. For Mike Petrie, I'm Galen Clavio. We'll be back on RHIT.TV.
Athlete looking for enhanced performance, comfort, and recovery? Then Skins is the perfect choice for you. Our revolutionary sports compression product provides better oxygen flow in your muscles, helps reduce fatigue and pain from intense physical activity, allowing athletes to push their boundaries and perform better.
Skins helps keep everything, including you, on track.
So don't wait any longer. Get your Skins now and experience unbeatable performance.
Take your game to the next level with Skins.
Good engineer, A good mathematician, a good scientist can identify problems.
But in order to be a great scientist or engineer, you've got to have curiosity and you've got to have creativity. And that's what's going to set you apart.
You can't teach curiosity. You just need to encourage your student to be curious. Curious in anything that they do. Curious so that it brings out the innovations, the new ideas.
Since we're doing things so quickly, a lot of times we know that we need help. So our professors all know us by name.
Basically, everybody knows everybody here.
That one-on-one personal connection you're getting with the faculty, you don't get that a lot of places.
We are not just saying, here, go do this hard project. We are right there with them. We work with them.
The faculty are there for you.
Anxious over algebra? Call Ask Rose, the free science and math homework helpline. It's free world-class tutoring. Just call, chat, email, or screen share. Learn more at AskRose.org. Confused by chemistry? Call Ask Rose, the free science and math homework helpline. It's free world-class tutoring. Just call, chat, email, or screen share. Learn more at AskRose.org.
You're good at making big announcements. We're good at your insurance.
Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, online, over the phone, or in person, and stop knocking on wood.
We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN. We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN.
Anxious over algebra? Call Ask Rose, the free science and math homework helpline. It's free world-class tutoring. Just call, chat, email, or screen share. Learn more at AskRose.org. Confused by chemistry? Call Ask Rose, the free science and math homework helpline. It's free world-class tutoring. Just call, chat, email, or screen share. Learn more at AskRose.org.
From warehousing to transportation and everything in between, Piper Logistics does it all. Centrally located, Piper Logistics has 2 warehouses in Indianapolis and a warehouse in Cincinnati, Ohio. Piper Logistics houses over 1 million square feet. Along with our transportation department, we can provide service to half the United States markets.
We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, IndianaSRN. Hit the bell to get notifications for upcoming games and more. Watch as many games as you want, as many times as you want.
Calling officials cheaters or corrupt, it's not a game.
Insulting referees, it's not a game.
Threatening officials, it's not a game.
Berating young umpires, learning the ropes, it's not a game.
Violent language in the stands, it's not a game.
Verbal abuse from the sideline, it's not a game.
Screaming at a referee in the parking lot, it's not a game.
An active athlete looking for enhanced performance, comfort, and recovery? Then Skins is the perfect choice for you. Our revolutionary sports compression product provides better oxygen flow in your muscles, helps reduce fatigue and pain from intense physical activity, allowing athletes to push their boundaries and perform better.
Skins helps keep everything, including you, on track.
So don't wait any longer. Get your Skins now and experience unbeatable performance.
Take your game to the next level with Skins.
At Morales Group Staffing, we are all about building better futures. And during these times, we are working hard to put people to work. We are now hiring for hundreds of jobs with pay up to $17 an hour. Visit our website at moralesgroup.net or text JOBS, JOBS, to 317-472-7600 to apply now and get hired today.
We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at DePauw.
Welcome back to Hulbert Arena. Galen Clavio, Mike Petrie joining you for the consolation game of the Midwest Classic. DePauw leading Rose-Hulman 40-29 after 20 minutes. And Mike, let's talk about what happened in that first half. DePauw, the story in this one, the shooting has definitely come back for them. 15 for 31 from the field, 4 for 8 from 3. Ava Hassel, 15 points. Riley Mont, 10 points. They really got some tremendous guard play offensively in that first half.
Yeah, and the ability to get open looks and then to knock them down. We mentioned that for both teams throughout their games yesterday. DePauw able to actually knock down some shots. One thing with Rose-Hulman, they finally started to hit some shots from the outside, so we'll see if that's something that can continue. They were 0 for 5 yesterday from behind the arc. 2 of 7 today is not great, but it's certainly an improvement.
Yeah, for Rose-Hulman, the big issue, the shots just not falling, 10 for 26. And a lot of that has been DePauw's defense. They have really made it difficult for Rose-Hulman to play the post-oriented game that they played yesterday. Rebounds have also been very much in favor of DePauw. They've pulled down 12 offensive boards, which was a big problem yesterday for Rose-Hulman. And they've out-rebounded Rose-Hulman. DePauw has 20 to 13 overall.
Absolutely. And the other problem in what you saw was in the second period, Rose-Hulman doesn't go to the free throw line at all, and that's got to be a big part of their game. Again, if you don't make a lot of threes, you've got to counter that somewhere. You've got to make up points somehow, and they had done a decent job of that in the first period. They go 7 of 9 from the free throw line. Second period, they don't go to the free throw line at all.
We talked about how Rose-Hulman needed to clean up the turnovers, and they've largely done that. They had 7 turnovers in that first half. That's not stellar, but that's a lot better than the 29 total turnovers that they had yesterday. What's the route back into this game right now if you're Rose-Hulman?
I think they have to get back to doing what they do well offensively, and I think you've got to be able to spread the court out as much as you can, as much as they will allow. But then once you've done that, you've got to either drive and kick, get some shots up and draw the fouls, and then get to the free throw line.
The leading scorer for Rose-Hulman in that first half, Manuela Shamba, who started today after not starting yesterday, had a really nice half, all things considered. 8 points, 6 rebounds, was 3 for 6 from the field, had 4 offensive rebounds, really kept some possessions alive all by herself. Also contributing 8 points from Jamie Baum, who hit those 2 3-pointers from outside. She's been kind of quiet elsewhere on the floor, but has certainly done what she's needed to do in terms of shooting the basketball. Ashley Black with 6 points, CK Gallegos Rodriguez with 5. Elsewhere on the DePauw roster, some other scoring coming. Tori Allen had a couple of big threes, ended up with 6 points total. And early on, we saw Lydia Stolkin with a basket and a free throw. She ended up with 3 points. Overall in this contest, 10 turnovers off of points for DePauw, only 2 points off of turnovers for Rose-Hulman. Really hasn't been a game where there's been a lot of fast breaking. It's been pretty much a half-court style of game, both offensively and defensively for both teams. We're going to take a break, and we'll come back with the start of the second half. The score 40-29, DePauw leading, trying to get third place in this Midwest Classic. Back right after this on RHIT.TV.
A good engineer, a good mathematician, a good scientist can identify problems.
But in order to be a great scientist or engineer, you've got to have curiosity and you've got to have creativity, and that's what's going to set you apart.
You can't teach curiosity. You just need to encourage your students to be curious. Curious in anything that they do. Curious so that it brings out the innovations, the new ideas.
Welcome back to Holbert Arena. Galen Clavio and Mike Petrie joining you here for the second half of this contest between DePauw and Rose-Hulman. Both teams looking for their second win of the season and trying to pick up third place in this tournament. Both teams certainly still in it as the teams are huddled up, getting some final instructions from the head coaches before they head back out onto the playing surface. And at this point, Mike, really just a tale of can Rose-Hulman shoot better and can DePauw keep shooting at the rate that they've established so far in this contest?
That's really what it is, and second chance points I would think would become an issue as well as DePauw was doing with getting second chance points, but they didn't convert a lot of those. So kind of playing with fire, though, if you are Rose-Hulman. You can't continue to give up offensive rebounds. In the first half, they give up 12 offensive rebounds, but just 12 second chance points for DePauw.
DePauw Tigers going to start things off with the basketball, and they'll immediately lob it in to Diana Berger, and she can't handle that pass from Ava Hassel, so a turnover to get things going here.
A little bit uneven from DePauw. Diana Berger played early, got 2 fouls. I'm not sure we saw her the rest of the half.
Reese also in some foul trouble. Not as many fouls in this game as there were in the games yesterday, but they've been mostly concentrated around a couple of key people. Baum unable to do anything with that drive attempt, and now quickly down the floor. DePauw trying to do some fast breaking. Here's Mont driving in and softly rolls that one in. Nice job by Riley Mont. She's got 12.
That hit every part of the rim and falls in.
Sophia Reese looking for an entry pass. Now Baum, back to Reese. Baseline, nice feed to Shamba, up on off glass and in, and Manuela Shamba with her 10th point.
Great job by Rose-Hulman. They weren't able to get a traditional post entry, and because of that, they drive in and get a better entry.
Jump ball, and it'll be Rose-Hulman basketball, so a good sequence there for the Fighting Engineers, trailing by 11, 8:57 left in this third quarter of play.
DePauw, though, it's interesting. They are looking like they are ready to run at a moment's notice. Even off of a made basket, they tried to get into a fast break offense there, trying to speed this game up a little.
Some aggressive denials of passes into the post, and Baum a little strong on that shot. Rebound, no. And here's Baum as it taken away by Ava Hassel. Hassel in among the trees in there, able to grab that rebound, and Riley Mont fires in the three on the other end.
Big three-pointer, and that's just a tough equalizer. Really, it makes up for a lot of things that a lot of shortcomings.
Potential 5-point swing on that possession there. Shamba going to shoot from 16, probably not ideal spot for her to shoot the basketball, and Berger loses it as she tries to dribble out of trouble. Shamba gets it right back. No, but a foul.
And that's where Shamba is going to be most effective, down on the low block. The downside to that is you've got to find somebody who can get you the ball down there. They struggled with that on the one possession. They were able to drive in and kind of create some new angles. It's not a traditional post offense, but if you can get the ball to Shamba down there, she's going to do her damage.
Foul picked up by Ava Hassel. That could be big, as Hassel, with 15 points, a co-leading scorer now for DePauw, has to go to the bench with those 3 fouls. Shamba hits the first free throw.
That'll be interesting to see how Coach Chris Huffman deploys her here in the rest of the half.
So now a 1-2-2 pressure set up as Rose-Hulman trying to create some problems for DePauw to bring it up the court, and almost a 10-second violation, but they get it across. Hunsinger will drive baseline, gets position, up and in. Lily Hunsinger has been pretty quiet so far in this tournament. Picks up her first 2 points of the game. Reese. Shamba, up and in. Manuela Shamba can't be denied down low. She's got 14.
Finishes through contact. Probably could have gotten a foul call, but doesn't. But even without the foul call, she gets the basket.
Scoop shot by Mont. Can't get that one to bounce in, and that'll be out of bounds and off of the hands of Lydia Stolkin. Rose-Hulman basketball.
Rose-Hulman's going to have to make a run here, and the run starts when you can get a stop defensively. They get that stop. Now they got to get a basket, get another stop, and see if they can get off and running.
Shot, no. Out of bounds. They'll say off of DePauw, so Rose-Hulman will maintain.
And I think that's the one thing that we're seeing with Rose-Hulman. It's just hard for them to maintain any positive momentum. They just struggle offensively to get repeated possessions that are positive.
Baum can't find the entry to Roland. Shot from Baum from distance, can't get it to rattle home. Nice rebound by Gallegos Rodriguez, passes it off to Black, and she lays it in.
I have no idea how she got that pass off, but I'm not sure she knows how.
Berger off to Hunsinger, who drives, trying to be a little more assertive offensively. Now Mont for 3, can't get it to rattle in, and a foul was called down low as it looked like Roland got hit in the head. You can see Gallegos Rodriguez on this replay. Really nice job pulling that one in and dishing it off to a cutting Ashley Black. The foul was whistled on Rose-Hulman. They said that was on Grace Rowland, who kind of came away worse for wear there as a result of the contact.
She had fallen to the ground initially, and I think, they just ruled she essentially tripped the DePauw player.
Hunsinger can't get it to fall, and that goes off the hand of Lydia Stolkin, they'll say. So out of bounds to Rose-Hulman, and they got a chance to cut this to single digits.
Absolutely. Well, we talked about how hard it is for them to continue to get that positive momentum, but here's a chance. Their defense has done enough. Now it's a matter of the offense has to pick up its side.
Ashley Black to Baum, who goes baseline, immediately runs into Berger. Kicked off to Gallegos Rodriguez, trying to get inside this pressure man-to-man, and Rowland leaves that short. Baum chases the rebound down, and she's going to be fouled.
Much improved aggressiveness and controlled aggression from Rose-Hulman here in this third quarter. Going after balls, going to the floor, not doing it in a way that just looks good, but you see Jamie Baum went after that ball with a purpose and gets the foul called for her trouble.
That foul was whistled on Lydia Stolkin. We'll see Diana Berger sit down. And Ainsley Boris into the game now. Here's Rowland working inside, and she picks up a foul on, I believe, number 35, Lydia Stolkin. So that's 2 fouls on this one possession for Stolkin, and she's suddenly got 3.
She was not in foul trouble when the possession started.
Things can change quickly in college basketball.
That's right.
Grace Rowland has had a rough couple of games, able to fire home both of those free throws. She's got 4 points, and it's an 8-point game now. Rose-Hulman back in it. Tori Allen, Prusko. Now Hunsinger, who really has been looking more aggressive, drives in. Now back out to Prusko, and she rattles home a 3.
Oh, that three-point shot just makes up for any manner of shortcomings. I think the first 5 minutes here, Rose-Hulman has played better on the balance, but the 2 3-pointers that DePauw has made up for a lot.
Rowland gets position, turn around, and she'll pick up another foul, and this is going to be whistled, I think, on Lydia Stolkin. We'll see what they end up calling here. They do indeed call it on Stolkin, and she's got 4 fouls now. And they've all come in the last, or 3 of them have come in the last minute and a half. You can see the replay here. It was a nice job by Rowland. She had the ball at the top of the key, then rolled down to the low post and was able to get position and put Stolkin at a disadvantage. And Rowland going to, after knocking that first free throw down, she'll have an opportunity at a second. Knocks it in, and Stolkin's going to have to head to the bench. She'll be replaced by Lila Barr.
Well, and all that does is that adds to the advantage that Rose-Hulman has offensively. Again, this is the first time, quite honestly, in about 4 halves that they've had a positional mismatch. Their posts against the DePauw defenders, they're going to have a chance to really feast here.
Boris. Long shot up and in by Tori Allen. As you said, Mike, the great equalizer, the 3-pointer. And DePauw using it to full advantage. They've hit 7 of them so far. Rose-Hulman trying to close the gap. There's Baum. And that was a poor idea pass-wise. It's knocked away. And a turnover for the Fighting Engineers.
Yeah, the problem you run into from Rose-Hulman is everything has to be so precise. And again, they just are not leaving themselves enough margin for error.
Timeout on the floor. We'll take one ourselves. 4:20 to go. 53-41. DePauw leads. Back after this on RHIT.TV.
Athlete looking for enhanced performance, comfort, and recovery? Then Skins is the perfect choice for you. Our revolutionary sports compression product provides better oxygen flow in your muscles, helps reduce fatigue and pain from intense physical activity, allowing athletes to push their boundaries and perform better.
Skins helps keep everything, including you, on track.
So don't wait any longer. Get your Skins now and experience unbeatable performance.
Take your game to the next level with Skins.
About halfway through the third quarter of play here at Holbert Arena. I'm Galen Clavio along with Mike Petrie. You can see the replay there of that most recent sequence. And as DePauw tried to cycle it around, it was knocked out of bounds. We've seen DePauw hit a lot of timely shots throughout the course of this contest, and most of the timely shots have come from beyond the arc, Mike. 7 for 12 from the three-point line. And Tori Allen has come in, and the freshman out of Andrean High School in Northwest Indiana looking dead-eye from that distance.
Yeah, that, again, you just need a couple of people to start hitting, and then the team catches on. And 3 of 4 for Tori Allen. That, she did not play a whole lot leading up to yesterday, and then in yesterday's game, this may be a role that she's carved out for herself.
Allen with the basketball. Drops it into Boris. And looks like perhaps a zone being played here now by Rose-Hulman, which is a curious choice given how well they've played, or DePauw's played from the perimeter, but they force a turnover as Lila Barr takes an extra step.
I think it makes sense that as long as you can close out on the shooters, just avoiding that first pass, which is what gets the defense scrambling, having to react, and then that opens things up for the shooters. If you can avoid that, you're going to be in good shape.
Roland turnaround off glass and in.
We talked about the advantage that Rose-Hulman's going to have down in the post, and Roland taking full advantage there.
With no Stolken and with Diana Berger having been subbed off, there is definitely an advantage there, but there's Boris driving in, can't convert. Baum comes out of there with the board.
Good team defense from Rose-Hulman, forced a tough shot.
Now Roland. A little pick and roll action. Tigers extending their defense a bit. Six seconds on the shot clock. They got to find something. Lob in, bad idea. Tigers come away with the steal.
Well, they were running out of time.
Here's Allen. Dribbling against Black, will penetrate, lays it up and gets it to fall. Tori Allen with 11 points now. She joins the scorers in double figures and back to a 12-point lead for the Tigers.
And a nice job by DePauw there, really getting their offense in motion before Rose-Hulman could get their zone set up.
Offensive foul going to be whistled, and that's going against Grace Roland. Roland picks up her fourth foul, and now some foul trouble that's going to impact that advantage that they've got in the post.
Grace Roland getting a not-so-kind welcome to college basketball life here. She's been whistled a number of times for fouls, I think contact she is used to getting away with.
Tigers can extend their lead to 14 or 15. In no real hurry. They're going to look for a good shot. Allen drives left, layup, up and in. Tori Allen is taking over this game offensively. She's got 13, and she has really spelled Ava Hassel and Riley Mott, who have been on the bench for quite a while now.
And the ability, again, for different players to step up and make baskets for this DePauw team. You don't need everybody to be on fire every night, but you're going to have enough players that can contribute offensively.
Another turnover. Amelia Diaz got up in the air and really had nowhere to go with the basketball. DePauw gets back into their set, and Rose-Hulman back to a straight-up man-to-man. Shot up and good by Ainsley Boris. And Boris, who had a pretty slow start to the game, is starting to pick it up. She gets her first two.
Rose-Hulman really struggled these last two possessions offensively. They've run the shot clock down. They've really done nothing and run out of ideas.
Sophia Reese trapped on the baseline. Got it out of there somehow, and now here's Gallegos Rodriguez up and to the basket.
I would not recommend that they try to replicate that play, but it worked as an offensive set that time.
You don't often get both defenders falling to the post. As you see here, Sophia Reese bounced it off of the leg of one of the DePauw players, and they both went down for it, and neither could pull it up. So that's an important sequence for Rose-Hulman as they were desperately in need of some scoring. So CK Gallegos-Rodriguez with a chance to pick up her 8th point here from the charity stripe. She does so. Only 5 players have scored for Rose-Hulman in this game, and none of them have fewer than 8 points.
An important series just for anything that Gallegos-Rodriguez goes to the free throw line.
Prusko has that 3 bounce off the front of the rim, and Rose-Hulman will come back down the floor. Can go 2 for 1 here if they hurry. And a foul going to be whistled. A hand check about 15 feet from the basket.
You mentioned going 2 for 1. That's a big foul because they are in the bonus. So the ability to continue to add to their point total from the free throw line.
Alina Prusko called for that foul, her first. That was the 6th foul on DePauw in this quarter. Rattling that free throw home is Ashley Black. She hits this next one, she'll have 10 on the day. Manuela Shamba, who's been on the bench for a while, getting set to check back in. That free throw is missed. Rebound is pulled down by CK Gallegos-Rodriguez. DePauw shot rattles out, and a jump ball going to be called. Possession will go to DePauw.
You like seeing the aggressiveness. 3-4 players heading to the floor there.
Pressure being applied now by Rose-Hulman. About a 5-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. So DePauw can't rattle it all off, and a travel going to be called there as DePauw couldn't handle the pressure. Diana Berger looked like she might have dragged her foot. Sophia Reese going to trigger the inbound with 29.9 seconds. So Rose-Hulman, if they wanted to, could hold for the final shot. I don't know if they want to here, though, Mike, as they need points more than anything else.
Yeah, I think you take the first good look.
Reese. DePauw really packing in the paint, and why not, given the lack of outside shooting from Rose-Hulman in this game. Reese draws the contact and gets the foul, and that's going to be whistled on Tori Allen. So 2 on Allen, 7th foul on DePauw in this quarter. And you can see Reese didn't really have a lot going there. Managed to get the body, can't hit the free throw. She'll have 1 more.
Yeah, that's the part of that offense. You've got to convert from the free throw when you get there, and even though the play resulted in something that you like, again, it's a lot of one-on-one. You're counting on that whistle, and you and I both have watched enough college basketball to know that is not always going to be a reliable weapon that you can count on.
With 11 seconds left, down the floor comes Prusko, all the way down, lays it up, can't get it to fall. Pulled down by Gallegos-Rodriguez. Now quickly the other way, 2 seconds left. 1 shot taken, and didn't really get that one close to the rim. So that will end the 3rd quarter of play. 59-48, DePauw leads Rose-Hulman. 1 more frame to go. We'll take a break and come back with the 4th here on RHIT.TV.
Calling officials cheaters or corrupt, it's not a game.
Insulting referees, it's not a game.
Threatening officials, it's not a game.
Berating young umpires, learning the ropes, it's not a game.
Violent language in the stands, it's not a game.
Verbal abuse from the sideline, it's not a game.
Screaming at a referee in the parking lot, it's not a game.
Welcome back to the broadcast of the consolation game in the Midwest Classic here from the campus of the Rose-Hulman Institute of Technology. I'm Galen Clavio, along with Mike Petrie. It's 59-48, DePauw leading Rose-Hulman. Rose-Hulman has picked up the shooting a little bit, Mike. 38.5% for the game, but still only 2 threes made. They're going to have to hit from outside as DePauw is really packing the paint right now.
Absolutely. They're going to have to hit from outside, and they're going to have to get the whistles that they got in that third quarter. That's got to continue. And then they're going to have to convert essentially on almost every offensive possession.
Manuela Shamba, who's leading Rose-Hulman in scoring, back in the game. And essentially just a 2-3 zone being run here. We'll see what Rose-Hulman can do to break this thing down. Shot taken by Black, and that's a good way to get things started. She knocks it down, and the lead is 9.
It's good to see the ball go through the hoop.
Nice fake by Hassel. That shot way off the top of the glass. I almost think that slipped out of her hands.
Something looked a little off there. I'm not sure if it was rushed or if she just, as you said, had the ball slip out and then wasn't able to stop it in time.
Reese up on the high post to Shamba, and she will pick up the foul. And I think that's going to be on Ava Hassel, and if so, that's her 4th.
Yeah, it really limited her minutes there in the third period. Be interesting to see how Chris Huffman plays this.
Ava Hassel leading the team in scoring, and you can see the replay of this as Shamba a little bit lucky there in terms of even being able to draw that contact and get the whistle, as it was a hopeful drive to say the least. Now a discussion being had at the scorer's table. Now they're going to do a substitution as Hassel comes in off the floor and is having a conversation with her coach on the sideline about what happened there and why she got the foul. And as we've seen earlier, it was a lot of body that was called. Shamba can't get the free throw to roll home. She was 4 for 5 before that attempt.
Didn't even have an announcer's jinx on her.
Second one rattles home. 8-point margin. Not a huge number of people in attendance here, but there's more Rose-Hulman fans than DePauw fans, as one would expect. And that ball goes through the hands of Berger as Riley Mont threw it a bit behind her, and a turnover for Rose-Hulman. They can cut this to a 2-possession game.
Yeah, it looked like C.K. Gallegos Rodriguez tried to put a hand out but didn't, and I think Berger was thrown off by the fact that the pass got through her.
Baum pulls up from 18. That bounces hard off the back of the rim. I'd be a little bit rushed on that shot there. Hunsinger bounces it to Mont. Mont, the co-leader in scoring for this DePauw team, has 15 on the day. Getting pressured and stolen. Picked up by Black. Black takes off, lays it up, and blows the layup. Tori Allen. We'll reset the offense here for the Tigers. Boris drives on Shamba, gets the body, misses the shot, but she'll get 2 free throws.
That's one that they're going to look back on, just a sequence where they really could have cut into this lead.
It's always more complicated than it looks. You think, you've got a layup attempt, it's going to go in, no problem, but you're constantly worried about somebody coming in from behind and blocking your shot. So instead of just concentrating on laying it in, you get distracted and you put too much mustard on it.
And also a good defensive effort from the DePauw player. Ran back in transition, kept her from going to her natural hand. So she threw it up left-handed and just couldn't get it to fall.
Back to a double-digit margin for DePauw. Shamba. Now here's Baum pulling up from 16, and that's way off. Fight for the rebound, and Tori Allen comes out of there with it. And a foul going to be called on Reese. And that will be 4 on Sophia Reese.
She had avoided the fouls early on in that third period, but that another kind of just a silly foul.
Timeout. We're going to keep it here. Just a reminder, folks, if you're looking for great food for breakfast and lunch, check out Tam's Sweet and Savory Cafe. They also specialize in baked goods. They have daily specials and are open Wednesday through Sunday from 8 to 2. That's Tam's Sweet and Savory Cafe, located at 6427 Oak Landon Road in Indianapolis. Also a reminder, folks, Boilermaker Local 374 can offer you a career as an iron shipbuilder, blacksmith, or general helper. For more information, contact the International Brotherhood of Boilermakers at 219-845-1065. Also, just a reminder, we'd like to thank today's officials for their dedication and hard work. Without them, we're not playing this basketball game. If you don't have something nice to say, don't say anything at all. Sportsmanship is everyone's job. You see a couple of replays rolling here. A nice job by DePauw. They've really started to exploit the drive across the lane with the left hand, utilizing that kind of weak side of the post, as Rose-Hulman has really been overcommitting to the strong side, and it's allowed a lot of backside setup for DePauw.
Yeah, and the ability to just find holes that they can run an offense to, again, that's really what's setting this DePauw team apart from Rose-Hulman so far. Defensive intensity from both teams, I think, has been excellent. Even defensive execution, but even when you execute a defense correctly, you're going to leave some spot open. DePauw has done a better job at finding whatever holes are being created than Rose-Hulman has so far.
Reese really dangerous there as she tried to pressure with that fourth foul, almost picked up a fifth. Now Tori Allen going to drive on Reese, back side layup, good. And that's the problem with a four-foul player. You just can't put the pressure defense on.
And Ashley Black, the senior, says to her as they were inbounding, yeah, that was on me because I should have come over and helped.
Shamba maneuvers in and has that bounce off the front of the rim, but a foul going to be whistled. I think they're going to get Berger on this one. Diana Berger, who's had a rough game so far. You can see this play by Allen. Reverse layup, and just Sophia Reese couldn't do anything about it. Allen now joins a logjam at the top of the scoring column. 3 players with 15 points. She's one of them, and has been the one that's done the most recent damage. Shamba, who leads Rose-Hulman in scoring, picks up her 16th point there to go along with 7 rebounds and 3 steals.
I think what's particularly interesting about the 3 leading scorers from DePauw is they've all had their own runs. In the first quarter, it was Hassel. In the second quarter, Mont. And then second half here, it's been Allen.
Steal almost by Diaz. Somehow Hunsinger was able to pick that up. And now a timeout going to be called here. We're going to keep it here again. Folks, the Morales Group is building better futures one story at a time with locations in Indianapolis, Zionsville, Anderson, Columbus, and Lafayette. For more information, give them a call at 317-472-7600. Also, folks, just a reminder that Piper Logistics specializes in everything from warehousing to transportation and everything in between. That's 3 services with 1 solution. They do it all. For further information, give them a call at 317-396-1023. Mike, 11-point lead for DePauw, 7:03 remaining. And at this stage, if you're Rose-Hulman, you've either got to start pushing the tempo and not letting DePauw set up in defense, or you've got to find a way to start shooting from long distance. It's not so much just that Rose-Hulman isn't hitting from long range, 2 for 8 on the game. They just haven't shot very much from long range.
And what it is, offensively, they've cut down on the turnovers. Again, that was kind of job one, just to stop turning the ball over. But so many of their possessions, it just looks stilted. It looks like they're still trying to figure out, okay, well, if I go to this spot, where are my teammates going to be? And they're having to kind of go to one spot, look up, see where everybody has gone to, and that puts you in a bad spot offensively.
Tori Allen, the breakout star here for DePauw in this one, dribbles against pressure, and now a reach-in foul going to be whistled against Amelia Diaz.
Not a terrible foul from Diaz there. She took a chance at a steal. It's interesting because they've taken Sophia Reese out. I think that shows they're going to have to try to pressure the Bulls some more. They know there are going to be some fouls coming.
And you can see the reach in here from Diaz and a little body contact as well, so an easy call. You've got 3 fouls on Rose-Hulman so far. They've got another one to give before DePauw ends up in the bonus. Riley Mott working, lays it up, bounces it off the front of the rim. No, saved, but Amelia Diaz picks it up, and a foul going to be called on Berger. So Diana Berger picks up her 4th foul. That's 3 DePauw players with 4. Lydia Stolkin and Ava Hassel both with 4. And we'll see Barr come back in replacing Berger.
Now you will have some chances to go down low and see if Roland can take advantage down on the post, but you probably can't live down there the way that they have to this point.
Bad pass there from Diaz, and DePauw picks up the turnover. Lily Hunsinger passes off to Allen for 3, drains it. Tori Allen 4 for 5 from long range, and it's a 14-point lead. That ties the largest margin of the game so far for DePauw. There's Rowland dropping it in. A little bit of an awkward turnaround there, but she'll score her 10th point.
And again, she's going to get her points. If you just kind of have to get it high enough so she can receive it, not over her head like the post entry was on the last possession.
Mont tees it up from 3. That's off the mark. Here come the Fighting Engineers. Gallegos Rodriguez. Now Baum passes up the 3 into the corner. Diaz way off the mark, and Mont pulls the board down.
That looked like a good offensive set, but I think that's somebody that DePauw was comfortable with taking that shot.
Hunsinger. And a foul going to be called on Gallegos Rodriguez with the body. Substitutions coming in for both squads. Prusko back in for DePauw. Shamba and Reese in as Diaz and Black will sit down. And we're going to see Ava Hassel come back in as well, as she will take the place of Tori Allen, who certainly deserves the break. Tori Allen, the 5'9" freshman out of Andrean High School, has really been impressive so far in this contest. 18 points, leads all scorers. Ava Hassel on the drive, can't get it to fall, and Shamba picks up her 8th rebound of the day. Baum tries to drop that in, gets it to Rowland, puts it up and off glass and in. Grace Rowland's got 12, and she's really come alive in this second half.
He's taken advantage of some of the foul trouble and the post defense deficiencies from DePauw. That's an offense that you can build around. Now you've got to kind of stack some pieces on that if you're Rose-Hulman.
Nearly a travel by Mont, and then she loses it, but gets it back. Shot up, no good. She's been really off in this second half. And now a timeout going to be called by DePauw. We'll take one ourselves. 4:04 left, 10-point margin. We'll be right back.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the IndianaSRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
Back live and getting ready for action at Holbert Arena. DePauw trying to inbound the basketball, leading by 10. Hassel with 4 fouls, going up against Reese with 4, and she short arms the shot, and Reese comes away with the board.
Good job on defense there by Reese. She defended hard but did not risk getting that 4th foul.
Baum crossover and gets it to rattle home, and the foul. Whistle came a little bit late.
I was going to say that might have been on the rebound, but we'll see.
So let's see what the call is here. I guess they are going to say that it was on the shot. Roland going to sit down, and little defense for offense exchange here as Black comes back in the contest. Baum knocks it down to a 7-point margin here. And Gallegos, you can see the replay of the Baum play as Baum drove. And that was a little bit of an aggressive closeout there on the block out, so I guess that's what they called.
It was late enough that it almost could have been a foul after the shot, which would have led to 2 free throws for, actually it would have been an inbound for Rose-Hulman.
Here's Hassel off glass and in. What a shot by Ava Hassel. A little runner, and she extends it back out to a 9-point margin. 3:14 to go. Rose-Hulman has to work quickly. Gallegos Rodriguez lays it up and in. Sneaks past Boris. And it's back down to 7. And there's a clothesline foul there on Maria Godoy Rodriguez. And that should send Hassel to the free throw line.
Yeah, I'd say she got her a little bit there. Just enough.
If you're going to foul,
right,
make sure there's no question, I suppose. Rose-Hulman trying to find a way back into this one. Ava Hassel will head to the free throw line. Not a lot of free throw attempts on the game for DePauw, but they've hit 8 out of the 10 that they have shot. But not that one. That one's left well short by Hassel. Ava Hassel, 17 points on the game, 3 for 5 now from the free throw line. And that one's knocked home.
I have a feeling DePauw's going to get a chance to make up for the one miss. They're going to get a lot of opportunities here.
Sophia Reese. Checked by Hassel. Now into Roland, who starts her post move and is too strong on that.
Good box out there from DePauw. That was Boris. Boris on the box out kept Chombo away from the offensive glass.
Chris Huffman telling her players to space things out, try to avoid opportunities for double teams. Ball almost knocked away there by Sophia Reese. 9 seconds on the shot clock. Drive by Prusko, misses the shot. Nice defensive possession by Rose-Hulman.
Not sure how many times they're going to be able to run it down the length of the
feed and a kick ball.
That's an unfortunate call. It's probably the right call, but in a just world, you let the advantage go to Rose-Hulman.
So they call the kick ball on DePauw, which means Rose-Hulman gets it underneath their basket. We'll see what kind of play is drawn up here by Devon Paul. They try to spring Baum, and they get her. Drives in and misses the layup, but a foul going to be called on the rebound attempt. And that call going to be on Riley Mont. Second foul, that's the 5th foul on DePauw. So Jamie Baum heads to the free throw line with a chance to cut this back down to a 6-point deficit. You see there the foul was called on Mont as she kind of drifted in the lane. Free throw up and good. Baum with her 12th point. She's 2 for 2 from the free throw line. Big free throw here. Nails it. Jamie Baum's had a really rough night from the field, only 4 for 16, but some big points there. Here's a trap almost sprung, but Allen gets out of it. Probably a little too early to foul if you're Rose-Hulman. Want to play some good defensive possession, but instead they'll foul Tori Allen. Allen hasn't been to the free throw line yet so far in this game, but she can push this back out to an 8-point margin.
Yeah, that's one of those possessions, I think, as a coach, that just drives you crazy because you had committed to not fouling early on. You let 10 seconds burn off, and then you do foul, not intentionally. You're going to have enough of the fouls when you're trying to foul.
Allen back into the lead in scoring overall in this game. That's her 19th. She can pick up her 20th point if she knocks this one home, and she does. 71-63. Hassel going to come off the floor. Cece Condra, who we haven't seen much at all in this game, enters the contest for DePauw.
She came in at the end of the half for the first half just for defensive purposes.
Baum working, and she lays it up and in. Her 5th field goal of the game, and back down to a 6-point margin. Reese tried to spring the trap there with Gallegos Rodriguez. And a steal, bouncing on the ground. Reese gets it and was poked in the eye. And a timeout is going to be called. DePauw wanted a travel, and that would have been, I think, perhaps not particularly just, as Reese certainly got hit in the eye. She reacted immediately.
Yeah, and honestly, as soon as she grabbed the ball, I was expecting them to call timeout anyway, but it took probably an extra beat too long and didn't necessarily lead to her getting poked in the eye, but just an extra little not for her benefit.
So we'll reset this for you. 71-65 the score. Rose-Hulman has the basketball, down 6. They can cut it to 4 or perhaps even 3. Leading scorers in the game, Manuela Shamba with 16 points for Rose-Hulman. Jamie Baum with 15 points, and Grace Rowland with 12. For DePauw, it's been the Tori Allen show in the second half. She's got 20 points on 7 for 9 shooting, 4 for 5 from beyond the arc. Ava Hassel's had a rough second half, but she's still scored 18 points on the game. Riley Mont with 15. Foul trouble, Ava Hassel with 4, Lydia Skulkin with 4, and Diana Berger with 4 for DePauw. Grace Rowland, Sophia Reese, and Amelia Diaz all with 4 for Rose-Hulman. We're back to action. Baum letting some seconds roll off the clock. Rowland puts up a hopeful shot. That doesn't go. Now the ball is loose. Shamba gets the rebound on that, up and in. Not so much a rebound as just a loose ball. And now a whistle.
I think a timeout called by Rose-Hulman after the made basket.
So a timeout is whistled. Perhaps. The officials don't seem to think there was a timeout.
And now they send DePauw back. They send the players back on.
Well,
I think if I'm Chris Huffman, I'm a little upset because Rose-Hulman's getting a nice half timeout here.
So Sika Agueros Rodriguez was able to knock that ball away from, I believe that was I think it was Lydia Stulkin down there. And a nice job by Manuela Shamba to pull that one in and lay it up very quickly. So a 4-point game now with 57 seconds remaining. And Mike, right now, if you're Rose-Hulman, you don't have to foul on this possession. You could, but you've got a chance at least for the first 10 seconds to play some really aggressive trapping defense perhaps to try to generate a turnover.
Yeah, I think you trap defensively. If you get called for a foul, so be it. But you just go ahead and play as hard as you can, try to get a steal. The fouling strategy would work better if either A, DePauw was not as good of a free throw shooting team, or B, if you had more three-point shooting team or on your team.
So the inbound, of course, advanced to the front court. Black matching up against Allen, who dribbles past. Allen doesn't necessarily want to shoot. She'd rather work some time off the clock. Now Ava Hassel. 13 seconds on the shot clock. Hassel. Cut off. Nowhere to go. Stolkin up to Boris. 2 seconds on the shot clock, and the three-pointer rattles out, but the rebound is picked up by Stolkin, and she'll go to the free throw line.
Rose-Hulman did everything right on that possession. They did all they could, but you give up the offensive rebound at the end, and that nullifies a lot of the good that you accomplished.
Boris, who can hit from distance with that three-pointer, it rattled out, and just nobody got a body on Lydia Stolkin. So with 26.7 seconds left, Stolkin will head to the free throw line. She scored 3 points in the first half, but has been pretty quiet due to foul trouble the rest of the time. Rattles that one home. Stolkin, the lone senior on this roster, has that rattle out, but Hunsinger wrestles the ball away, and they'll reset.
And now you do have to foul.
Baum comes out, and she will commit the foul on Allen. 72-67, and time rapidly running out on the Fighting Engineers.
Yeah, you're going to need a good bounce here. You don't want, obviously, if you get 2 free throws, that makes it a 3-possession game.
Tori Allen knocks home that free throw. She's 3 for 3 from the line, 21 points on the night. And the second one is home. 7-point margin, and a timeout going to be called by Rose-Hulman as they try to figure out some strategy. We'll keep it here. Just a reminder, folks, that IndianaSRN is your gateway to Indiana sports excellence. Partner with IndianaSRN and Sports Web TV, where success and sponsorship meet. For opportunities, contact us at coach@IndianaSRN.org. Again, that's coach@IndianaSRN.org. Of course, this is not our only game of the day. Stick around for the second contest. We'll have Illinois Wesleyan taking on Washington University of St. Louis in the championship game of the Midwest Classic. Illinois Wesleyan looking to repeat as champions. Washington University looking to usurp that title. And it'll be an interesting clash of styles. Two teams that play very differently. A hot shooting team generally in Illinois Wesleyan, not yesterday, and then Washington University certainly playing through the post. So that'll be fun. We'll have that about 20 to 25 minutes after the conclusion of this contest. These teams huddling up. DePauw has to feel pretty good about where they're at right now with this game. They're just going to have to take care of business at the free throw line and probably need one more solid defensive possession. Rose-Hulman has tried to take a couple of additional threes since the last time we talked. They still haven't hit any, only 2 for 10 from beyond the arc.
Yeah, and the real problem that you're running into, you just need to get a shot up quickly. If you're DePauw, just forcing any time to burn off is good.
Baum in the corner, knocks it home. Back to a 4-point deficit. And a whistle. I don't think there was a timeout. I'm not sure why a whistle was blown there, but regardless, it helps out Rose-Hulman as it allows them to get a chance to set their press. Now we'll have some substitutions.
Right, if there was whether it was an inadvertent whistle, I'm not sure if you're allowed to sub on that, but
I don't think there was an actual stoppage of play. Officials are discussing this amongst themselves. And Devrin Paul, the head coach for Rose-Hulman, pointing out that perhaps there shouldn't be substitutions. Now both teams are going to their benches.
Well, and I think what DePauw eventually did was they went ahead and called timeout so they can advance the ball.
So they are going to call timeout for the advancement. So that will allow the substitutions. A confusing set of circumstances here, but a huge shot by Jamie Baum, only the third made three of this game for Rose-Hulman, back to a 4-point deficit. It's still 2 possessions, but now what do you do, Mike?
Now you've got to just foul right away. The good thing about hitting that 3 is you foul right away. Even if DePauw makes 2 free throws, it's still a 2-possession game. Get the ball down, again, whether you can advance it or getting it down to a shooter as soon as possible. I think it's going to be the Jamie Baum show here if you're Rose-Hulman, and you've just got to hope she can make 2 more.
So the ball advances on the timeout. It'll be Boris, Harris, Mont, Stulkin, and Hassel out there for DePauw. And then Roland, Reese, Black, Baum, and Gallegos Rodriguez is the lineup for Rose-Hulman. Some pressure defense on this inbound, and Baum going to foul Riley Mont right away. Only the 3rd foul on Jamie Baum. So Riley Mont goes to the free throw line. She has not been there today, but 15 points on the game so far for Riley Mont. Has had a pretty quiet second half, largely just due to a not being that consistent from a shooting perspective. Mont bounces it off the front of the rim. No.
She's an 85% free throw shooter on the season, but that's really big for Rose-Hulman. When you're going to have to make up essentially the 2 possessions, you don't want to have them miss both free throws on the next foul.
Mont knocks that one home. She's got 16. So now Rose-Hulman will watch as Mont comes off the floor and Hunsinger comes in, a little more defense. Inbounded to Gallegos Rodriguez, who brings it down quickly. She'll drive, almost loses the basketball, bounces it off of a DePauw player, and now a scramble on the floor and a jump ball. It's going to be Tiger basketball. Now that might just about do it for Rose-Hulman, unfortunately. Gallegos Rodriguez had the right idea, but just couldn't handle the ball down the stretch there.
No, and I think she was pulling up. She was ready to kick to the corner. The corner defender, I think, did a good job. Did not leave her player. She said, if you want to go down, that's fine.
Inbound, Harris going to be fouled. Oh, sorry, that was Tori Allen. Allen going to go to the free throw line, can pad her stat total. And let's watch what happened with Gallegos Rodriguez. And as you said, that little interdiction there with the hand from the corner defender kind of threw everything off.
Yeah, I think Gallegos Rodriguez expected her to come hard. She just sort of hedged and threw the hand out, and that was just enough to kind of throw Maria off her game.
Amelia Diaz fouled out with that last foul. Tori Allen misses that free throw. Knocks the second one down. Inbound to Reese, gets it up to the timeline, launches it, and off the back of the iron, and that will conclude this ball game. DePauw wins 3rd place in the Midwest Classic. Rose-Hulman falls to 1-4 with the loss. DePauw up to 2-3 on the season. Final thoughts, Mike?
Well, I think what you see from DePauw is they showed how they're going to win games this year. It's a strategy that, it's worked often enough, and getting the 23 points from Tori Allen, obviously very big. Their depth, not only that they play a lot of players, they've got a lot of different options that can score.
Tori Allen ends up with 23 points, 7 of 9 from the field, 4 for 5 from 3, 5 for 6 from the free throw line, had 3 steals, all of that in 25 minutes. A pretty efficient day for Tori Allen. Ava Hassel, 18 points for the Tigers, and Riley Mont with 16. For Rose-Hulman, it was Manuela Shamba leading the way, 18 points and 8 boards, and Jamie Baum, 18 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists. Also worth noting, Grace Rowland with 12, Ashley Black with 11, and CK Gallegos Rodriguez with 10. That's going to wrap up our coverage of Game 1 of the 2 games today. Again, we've got the championship game coming up between Illinois Wesleyan and Washington University of St. Louis. We're going to stop this broadcast. You'll pick it up again here in just a minute on RHIT.TV. Our thanks to the crew, another excellent production. And Mike, my thanks to you. As always, a pleasure broadcasting. For Mike Petrie, I'm Galen Clavio. 76-70 the final score. DePauw defeats Rose-Hulman. We'll be back in about 20 minutes. Be sure to tune back in. This is Midwest Classic Basketball on RHIT.TV. We'll catch you folks on the flip side. So long, everybody.